And welcome in there, Jims and Jimettes, to another fun-filled and exciting episode of the DAAAgenerates podcast, episode 141 on the docket. We got all the usual, some football, the games we liked. Of course, we'll be getting to that disgusting Bears-Jets game, unfortunately. I got some departures from the White Sox, saying hello to a new face that we'll be seeing during the year. And if we got enough time, maybe a little bit of wrestling. Before all that, let me introduce you to my co-host, Bill Kralis. Wow, Bill, how the hell are you?
I'm fucking freezing my clowny tits off right now, dude. I was telling you off air at work all day. I like it cold in my room. I need it not ice box cold, but I need it cold to like fall asleep. I got a fan going. I usually crack the window. I didn't realize how fucking cold it was gonna get today, and I left my window like wide open all day, and I got home like 3:30 and my room is freezing fucking cold. So I'm bundled up right now. I got the space heater on. We might blow a fuse because this house was built in the 1600s, but it don't fucking matter. We got a podcast to record. We unfortunately have to talk about the Bears. We even got some bad news right before record, and looks like Darnell Mooney's season's over for the Bears
Yeah, that
too.
might be the thing.
Um, yeah, got a little good news for the White Sox. Mike Clevenger over there, fucking going to be on the mound for them, and then wrestling, like you said.
Yeah, looking all good. Of course, coming back from Thanksgiving. Hopefully, everyone cleaned their plate, helped out whoever that hosted, or maybe you hosted Thanksgiving yourself. So like you said, always nice. It's always fun. And we had a little turkey bowl, so that was exciting. We had a little degenerate connection. I caught a touchdown pass from you,
Yeah,
so that was fun. Everyone hopped in the boat for the celebration. That was fantastic. Overall, yeah, it was all just solid performances by everybody.
Troy
Yeah,
absolutely locked down Allen.
yes,
That
he
was
did.
awesome to see.
Yeah, Allen
Yeah,
was held to
Troy,
nothing. Yeah,
nothing. Both fucking games, the Allen Gator locked down by our boy Troy. Good shit, Troy.
yeah, and he locked him down in fantasy this week as well. He wanted to
Oh
shout
yeah,
us out.
I did
Yeah,
see that. Troy tagged us in that tweet.
yeah, absolutely. So that was fun to see. Hopefully, everyone else got some fantasy wins as well. Very exciting weeks. Very exciting about that. The only thing I saw that I wanted to maybe get kicked off with, everyone's ranting raving the fucking World Cup going around. I know we already kind of talked about this, and you know our thoughts on the game of soccer itself. And yes, soccer, that's what it is. When USA and England tie, that we can now call it soccer. That's it. I love that
Damn
one. There was a
right.
tweet. There was like an equivalency of just like, if England got all like their best athletes played us in football, and they against our fucking NFL Pro Bowl team and tied. That's the equivalent of what just happened. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess
Jeez.
I guess that
I'll
makes more
take it. In
sense.
that case, a tie is good. We
Yeah,
always say you never
absolutely.
want to tie, but if we tie in that situation, I guess yeah, then that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
USA celebrating two ties so far. I think one. Yeah, I don't even remember
Yeah, I
who they
think they
played
need a
earlier.
must win tomorrow. I think they got Iran and winners in and loser goes home. So
Who gives a
yeah.
fuck? Either way,
Hey, I will
uh,
say I was watching on and off that British game. I honestly I don't know why. This is just my ignorant American mind. I thought soccer games were like 3.5, 4 hours long. This game was over in like an hour and a half. There's no commercials other than halftime. I think like soccer can be like the new golf in America. Like you just throw it on in the background
yeah.
and you can watch it, and it's nonstop action. There was no commercials, and I
You
feel like
can't say nonstop action when it ends like
well,
two
it's
nothing. Like what the fuck?
it was exciting though,
It's
just
so
seeing them.
criminally boring that it shouldn't be on TV.
It
No.
can be, but I will say for me as someone who's never really watched a soccer game in my life, I was watching it, and I could see I could understand. Yeah, soccer can be fucking, like watching paint dry at times, but
I'd rather watch the
I would
Denver
say I
Broncos play
was.
football. Yeah,
Oh, I don't know
that's as
about
simple
that.
as
They're
that.
fucking ass right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
But I would say
exactly.
it was exciting. There was some corner kicks. There was some fucking the one Polish guy on the American team. I don't know what his name is, number 10. He hit the fucking post and everyone was going wild. And it wasn't the worst experience watching my first ever full soccer game.
Oh
So
man, I wouldn't wish that on my
and
worst
you know what?
enemy.
I honestly hope tomorrow. America needs to win. America needs to win just because we're playing fucking Iran and they're like our rivals
Yeah, for this.
and they're all pieces of shit over there. So fuck Iran. They're all mad about the Call of Duty video game. We killed one of their generals, which I guess really happened in real life, and they threatened to nuke America or fucking attack us over the Call of Duty game. I hope we fucking beat them 80-0 tomorrow.
Yeah, no, that could be good.
Just because they're fucking Iranian pieces of shit.
Yeah. The only thing that would be going, like, making me like, hey, let's go win this. Let's go do something. Apparently, Budweiser is going to be giving the winner of the World Cup all the beer that was supposed to be sold at the World Cup. So they're sitting on pallets and pallets, just probably an entire warehouse of what was supposed to be going to Qatar. But, of course, 3 or 4 days before the game started, they announced that they won't be serving alcohol. So now Budweiser is actually suing FIFA. If I'm most likely over breach of contract for this said reason. So, I mean, good on them. Good on more of an incentive for anybody to win this game, I suppose. I mean, if they want that American style beer, that's up to them. Whatever they want to do.
I hope I don't know how Ireland's doing, but if they win and get all that beer, there won't be a soccer team afterwards. They're all dead. They're all done.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Or yeah, exactly, something like that. Or a team like Ecuador can just like sell it on the secondary market and they'll make some extra money on the side.
Yeah,
just shit like
third world country, just sell it back to us, and then we can fund the next war we're in with you. How about that?
God,
that's how it works anyway. You ever seen that one movie with Jonah Hill?
Yeah,
the gun movie. What was it called?
Yeah, War Dogs. Such a good movie. I love that movie.
I do
such a good movie. Yeah, either way, that's like I said, good incentive for that. That would be the only way to get me to go over and try and play some of these soccer games. But who really cares?
What about you see earlier today? I don't know what game it was in, but there was a protester who ran out with like a Ukrainian shirt on, and then he had like a gay flag that said like something about women's rights or something like that. That dude's getting his balls zapped in a fucking prison cell right now. So
that was great. The last time his family's
great
ever
on him. You got balls. Yeah, I know. He's getting zapped. His children got yanked out of school. His wife's in the fucking trunk of some 2005 Nissan Maxima right now. So all that, great message, but maybe not the smartest move to do that in a fucking shithole country like Qatar or however you say it.
For any of the burnout listeners, getting stoned over there means they're getting rocks thrown at their fucking head till they die.
It happens daily.
A
woman shows her ankle, you're done.
We're cutting it off. It's just the world they live in over there. It's a nightmare, but of course, we got the good type of football over here. Unfortunately, not so good of a game to watch, but it had a pretty solid week of games.
Good football.
Yeah, no, not so good of on the Bears side of things, but overall the games were pretty good. I think we were on the downside, not looking forward to a lot of them, but turning back, all the Thanksgiving games were pretty promising.
We'll say that Thursday Thanksgiving games were great.
Yeah, two solid overtime games, a two-point conversions that decided a game, and the Sunday night game wasn't too much of a stinker, but of course we'll go through the Bears Jets like we probably should. That's kind of our assignment, kind of our usual weekly homework. Do you want me to start off, or did you want to go ahead and
go for it?
Game? All right, sure. I'll fire away. It was rough. Obviously, we had predicted this. We knew going in it wasn't going to be a cakewalk in any sort of measure. We knew Justin Fields was probably going to be out, pending any sort of, is he going to play? Maybe he plays, and either way, if he was going to go in hurt, it was still going to be a damper and be bad. But it could have been way worse, considering we heard Nathan Peterman was getting some possibly getting the start, considering Trevor Siemian went down with an oblique injury during warmups. I guess Trevor Siemian decided, he's like, do I want to watch this eyesore of a game or possibly damage my arm? And he said, fucking take a seat, Nathan. We're going to get some painkillers after this game. Not that great of a game. I think he was 14 for 25, 179, threw a touchdown to Byron Pringle that could have, that could have easily been an interception as well. So he did what he could. Injuries were apparent all over the field. We obviously, like I just said, no Fields from the get-go. Didn't have Brisker at the beginning of the game. I didn't know that wasn't going to be a thing. Eddie Jackson went down during the contest, and like you alluded to earlier, right before we started, Darnell Mooney as of now, yeah, it's gonna miss the remainder of the season with this ankle injury. It was apparent after he couldn't really put any weight on it leaving the field. So hopefully he gets better in any sort of capacity. I know I'm not the guy that's like, hey, let's go Darnell Mooney. I'm not his number one guy, but of course you never want to see a guy like that, someone who's been very productive and been one of Justin Fields' go-to guys. You don't want to see him go down in any sort of way. So like I said, hopefully he gets better. See him some sort of in some sort of capacity next year. But let's not get it twisted. While the injuries were apparent, we were just gonna get cooked with Justin Fields not being there. So I hope that this is for the naysayers, the few that are left that are just saying that Justin Fields isn't the guy. Uh, we only scored 10 after scoring 24 or more in our past 5 games. So again, Fields isn't the issue. That's the thing. The glaring issue should be the defense. We've been talking about this back and forth. I'll still argue, lack of a star receiver on the offense, but again, it's the defense that just piled it
Yeah,
on.
it's
Was really bad. Yeah, just
been real bad.
like I said,
Historically bad the last couple weeks.
yeah, absolutely. And I'll tip my cap. Maybe the Jets are going to have a little bit of a starting issue over there. Mike White he did very well, or are they just going to go back to Wilson? I know probably White will be on some sort of short leash over there in New York, and pending some sort of 3 turnover game. I know a lot of people are jumping out of the bit, and they're saying, "Oh, this, that, and the other." Jets are going this far. They're doing this. They played the Bears. Let's hopefully they relax. The only thing that was really good for them, Elijah Moore finally woke up. He was there. He was allowed to cook. And Garrett Wilson, he kind of tore us apart. He benefited from that long touchdown with Eddie Jackson going down, but it's a smart play nevertheless. So good on him for doing that, recognizing an injured gazelle. So he fucking went over there and ran right past him. Again, that just goes to show for me that there needs to be the focus in the draft needs to be defense. Sure, we kind of went over this. You're vouching for offensive line. I think that could be addressed in free agency, even later on in the draft. First round needs to go to a franchise changing edge rusher. I go back to my Aiden Hutchinson argument that I made last week. I'll point out to the examples of everything that the Dolphins gave away for Bradley Chubb this year and everything we gave away for Khalil Mack the years prior. So I mean, I rest my case on that. You can pick that apart as it is, but in my mind, it was the defense. It wasn't all bad. I'll focus on one guy, and I'm sure you'll probably tip your cap to him as well. Jack Sanborn again coming up on the stat sheet, leading the team in total tackles at 15, 10 solo. I went over it. He was essentially 20% of the defense, getting 20% of the tackles made on the day. The next highest guy was 9 total tackles and 6 solo on the day. So that's pretty fucking awesome to see Jack Sanborn being productive, giving this guy a call, and he's actually doing something with it. Overall, gross game. Knew it wasn't going to be good without Fields. Our optimism level was down from the get go. We stayed in there at some points in time, but again, just health being an issue, couldn't get it done. The better team in this sense, the Jets, I guess, got the win, and they maybe should have, but I don't know, just didn't really fit, didn't feel that good. It shouldn't be as lopsided as it was. Just goes to show you that the Jets have a pretty solid defense and a pretty powerful rush offense. So good on him. Or I mean, I don't even know what good on him means, but excuse me, good on the Jets for doing that, being able to win this game. Bears have a lot of holes, a lot of problems, but apparently, just like I said, this game just shows that Justin Fields is not the issue. Go ahead.
Yeah, you definitely hit it right on the head. Justin Fields is this whole team. He has been the last 6 weeks. He has been the entire season. I know off to the tough start ever since that Washington Commanders game, and we'll get into the Washington Commanders too because I got a fucking rant about them. But ever since that game, he flips some switch, comes out, beats the Patriots on prime time in Foxborough. And ever since then, Justin Fields, his stock has just been rising, rising, rising every single week. Um, First off, I want to say I am I am so glad he did not play this game
Yeah.
because there have been times where, guys are banged up. We've seen it with Mitch before with the shoulder injury. You've seen it with other teams with Tua. I mean, this season where these guys come back, these potential. I don't want to throw Mitch in that category, but just looking at what he is now. But your fucking quarterback, your number one quarterback, and with Fields and Tua and all these other other quarterbacks this has happened to, your potential franchise quarterbacks, throwing them back into the fire before they're ready to go. I'm so glad that we didn't do that, because it could have been bad. It could have been Justin Fields out for the fucking season instead of Darnell Mooney after that Jets game. So I'm glad that he's sitting. I'm glad that he's not going to play until he's 100%. I know we got the Packers this week. I know we fucking hate the Packers, and it with Justin Fields, it's a winnable game. I don't want Justin Fields back until he's 120%. So good on the Bears, whether it's the coaching staff, front office, whoever made that decision to sit him. Good on them, because I don't want to risk anything else going on with Justin Fields. Because let's be honest, the way he's played, the way he's playing, all these scrambles, all these design quarterback runs, we've seen it with Lamar over the years. I mean, he's gonna take his fucking hits, he's gonna take his shots, and when you get later into the season like this, the weather starts to get cold. It might be a little rainy, like it was against the Jets. You might lose your footing, whatever. Later on in the fucking year, those shots are going to hurt a little bit more, and they're like body punches. They're like body punches in boxing. They're going to take their toll later on in the season. So I'm glad that Justin Fields did not play this game. In terms of the rest of the team, it sucks to see Mooney go down after having a decent year. I'm not going to say he was having a great year, but
Slow start, but
exactly,
as
definitely
Justin
slow
Fields
start.
progressed, he got better, of course.
Yeah, for sure. This will just be, I mean, this will be Chase Claypool's opportunity now. I know we've seen only had 2 catches in this game, but 51 yards, the long one, and that big catch up the sideline. On Sauce Gardner too, is one of the best young rookie
Oh,
corners
yeah.
in the league right now. One of the best young rookies in general in the league, and made an amazing catch one on one with Sauce Gardner. So we've seen a little bit of that playmaking ability now with that deep threat in Chase Claypool, and now with Mooney there, or Mooney not being there, maybe see a couple more balls going his way. So I guess that's with the bad comes a little bit of good. So maybe we'll see some more Chase Claypool. Yeah, you hit it on the head on the defensive side of the ball. I don't have to talk about how bad we are. We all we've seen for the last 6 weeks how bad this defense is. Jack Sanborn's a fucking dog. Finished his game with 15 tackles, and it was actually it was very brief. But if you've seen it on the halftime show, Howie Long had said something about Jack Sanborn and how I forgot what the word he used was, but they cut the halftime. They were talking. They were showing the highlights, and Howie Long had said something really quick about how good Jack Sanborn has been. So, same thing with Justin Fields getting a little bit of that national recognition from non-Bears fans, non-Bears analysts, whatever you want to call them. A little bit of love coming, for Jack Sanborn now from Howie Long, who
I'm a
in his
Hall of
own right,
Famer on the
Hall of
defensive
Fame,
side,
exactly,
multiple
Hall of
Super
Fame
Bowl
defensive
time winner.
players,
Like, that's
exactly.
very high praise from that guy. That's awesome.
Exactly. And then last thing, David Montgomery maybe didn't have the prettiest game out there. 14 carries, 79 yards, had a handful of catches. I've made up my mind. I want to keep this guy in the Bears because when he's healthy, he's nowhere near the elite level of running back, but he's a great all around running back in the receiving game, in the rushing game, blocking game. He's a leader. I love everything he brings to the table for the Bears, and we've seen it whenever he is healthy. So, he was very. I sort of fucked up not starting him in fantasy. I went with Najee over him tonight, but it's not going to matter anyway because I'm losing by like fucking 90.
Oof.
But it was very apparent that in that game with no Justin Fields, Montgomery was our go-to guy. He was our go-to guy in the rushing game. He was tied for the lead in receptions on the team with 3. So, yeah, that's just going forward. We can get that guy at the right price. I want to keep him on the Chicago Bears as long as we can because I just like what he brings to this team. Other than that, we said it. If Justin Fields didn't play this game, we weren't winning. Simple as that. And yeah, we pretty much got embarrassed.
Yeah, I hit on maybe some Hardo fans don't want to hear this, but I took the Bears team total under at 15.5, sweated it for a quick second, but it hit. No problem, no problem on that one. So yeah, overall, rough game to watch. But we said it. I mean, we said it from the get-go, wasn't gonna be a good one without Fields. And again, just another one, just another thing for all the for maybe the small minimal naysayers that are left for the Justin Fields people. This comes from uh at start Kyle Orton. Nothing crazy. Nothing. He doesn't even have a check mark. He didn't pay for it either. There's nothing there. Uh, his tweet goes: Trevor Siemian did everything folks say Fields need to do. He took his checkdowns and got the ball out fast as his TTT, which is probably time to throw or
Time to
whatever.
throw,
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever it is. Time to throw is only 2.6 seconds, and he was still pressured 11 times, sacked twice on 28 dropbacks because this offensive line is trash. So yeah, so I mean that's just a again just good on your comment that we do need. Obviously, yes, offensive line is a must. But yeah, yeah, this is again this all around. There's problems everywhere. This isn't the Fields like, oh man, yeah, he's going to solve some problems, and he's not the issue again. But there's holes everywhere. He needs help. He needs help on both sides. The defense needs to be able to stop anything. And yeah, I think that about
Yeah, and you know what?
wraps it up on that side.
I totally agree with you. If the Bears finish right now with right now we're projected the second overall pick. If we fall to the third, even fourth pick, and a guy like what's his name, Will Anderson from Alabama is there, or what's the one guy from Jalen Carter, I believe his name is from Georgia. If one of those guys are on the board right there with the Bears second, third, fourth overall pick, I'm taking them hands down
Yeah.
because the Bears have absolutely no pass rush right now. No more. Travis Gibson, we had high hopes for this kid, and he hasn't really done anything. No more Robert Quinn. Our next best pass rusher is Armani Watts.
Ooh,
Like
yikes.
that's it. So yeah, with that top pick, hopefully, fuck. I mean, no more Mooney. Who knows when Fields is back? Bears might not win a game the rest of the year. We might stay in that second overall spot. And if we can bring in a guy like Will Anderson from Alabama, he's a day one franchise fucking edge rusher right there. So, I'm sort of agreeing with you now.
Yeah, I mean, you get a guy like that, and it's all the thing. It's all in the world to have a guy pressure the ball and change the amount of time that you have the ball for a quarterback, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what a franchise fucking edge rusher can do when you draft him. Not only you're getting a cheaper end because you're getting him out of college, you're getting him right there. You can, yeah, I don't know, whatever.
You get that fifth year option on those first round picks
Exactly,
too.
stuff
So you
like
got
that.
them 5 years. Yeah.
And I mean, something we were just spitballing, throwing around while we were over at Mike's place. It's kind of set in stone that like Houston's probably not going to win another game as well, so they're probably locked in at number one. I don't see them winning two more games throughout the rest of their season, so they're probably locked in at one. If the Bears stay at two, uh, what's stopping maybe I don't know Houston or another team from just maybe swapping picks and we get an extra third round pick out of it? That's maybe a little optimistic considering other teams are probably just like, yeah, they're not going to draft a quarterback. We're safe there. We don't need
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
other teams might, just for the sake of needing that security, wanting to get a quarterback in that number one, number two spot. Maybe
I
they
mean,
do
no,
that.
look what the Bears did with Mitch. We gave up
Exactly.
fucking 40 picks for the
It's a
guy.
small glimpse of hope just to get a little extra from what we can get, and that's exactly what I want the Bears to do. Get some sort of edge rusher of it, whether that be the Alabama guy that everyone's talking about right now, or maybe somebody from Georgia or something like that. That's what we want to see. And again, even something. What do we get? Tevin Jenkins later, second round, third
And
round pick,
I
something
think he
like
was like
that.
the 42nd, 43rd pick in the
And I
draft.
mean,
So
yeah, we
second round,
traded
yeah.
away our high 40 pick, but we get him again in that second round, maybe in that third round, we have like a 63rd overall pick or something like that. It's not impossible to get quality starters in the third round. It's
No, not at all.
so I mean, and then again, we just talked about it all the time how the offensive line free agency class is coming up. It's a very big window, a lot of opportunity for that, a lot of opportunity for halfbacks and stuff like that. Maybe some room and wiggle room, maybe make a trade or two. Like I don't know, you don't need to break the window and or do anything crazy like Philadelphia did, but I mean they moved AJ Brown over. They got him, and he's been phenomenal for that offense. So just something like that. It's there's a ton of opportunity for the Bears to be viable both on the offensive side and make great moves on the defensive end. If we tons of optimistic things while we're losing games right now, the future is bright. We always keep saying that, so that's fine. Again, we won't be probably talking about any playoff picture shit like that anytime soon, but
No.
it's gonna be we'll get through these games. We'll get through the rest of the season, and it'll be fun. It'll still be okay. It'll still be fun to maybe catch towards the end of the season. I don't think we shut down Fields the rest of the season. I think after maybe the bye week, probably get him back, and then probably again bench him like week 17 or something. Who knows? He needs to still play. He needs to still get some reps in.
Yeah, totally
he's
agree.
not totally locked in. So we'll keep that in mind. Obviously, what 142 will be going over previewing Packers Bears. Get them in Chicago during the day, so it's a little better on our side. And I don't know, they might have a punctured lung Aaron Rodgers, so we definitely getting that.
Punctured lung. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, might be getting a Jordan Love led Packers. That's nobody wants to hear that.
Jordan Love versus Trevor Simeon.
Oh Jesus! Oh
Imagine
God!
that game.
Yeah,
I will
I
say
don't want
Jordan
to.
Love in the limited time that he had last night, he did not look bad. He made some good throws.
Yeah, no, Christian Watson turned on the Jets and was able to make the stats look a little bit better. But yeah, not didn't look like he was scared or nothing, seeing ghosts, as Sam Darnold would say. So that looked pretty good. Yeah, did you want to just get into the Week 12 games that we liked? What everything, anything that caught your eye? Obviously, the Thanksgiving games were pretty solid. Had some overtime thrillers, 2-point conversions, and then the Sunday night game was what it was. Everything I kind of wanted
Yeah,
to
let's do it.
make
I mean,
mention to.
let's just quickly go over to the Thanksgiving games because
Yep.
all three of these games were great games, all one possession games. Bills squeak out a tight one against the Lions and 28-25 in Detroit. We've seen the last two drives. It was just Josh Allen to Stephon Diggs. Thank you everybody
Yeah.
again in the fantasy league for letting me draft him 10th overall. You're all fucking donkeys. Yeah. But anyway, you seen that last drive, the big throw to fucking Stephon Diggs to get him into field goal range. Tyler Bass hits the game winner. And we say this a lot as fans. You'll never hear a professional or a coach or anything say this, but there's no such thing as a good loss, people say, but like if you're the Lions right there, that has to be like a plus.
Yeah.
If you're the Lions, if I'm someone in that locker room right now and you lose on a last second field goal to what a lot of people say the best team in football, at home, great back and forth game, that's like it has to be like a moral victory just for where they are right now, still in the rebuilding stage. I'm not going to say contenders yet, maybe
They're
next year.
still technically in
Um,
the hunt. I mean, they're
yeah,
still technically in
exactly.
the
They're in
hunt.
that hunt category, just like the Bears were last year. What,
Yeah.
3-8? The Bears still in a hunt. Well, is at the compound they were dead last in the hunt category. Oh,
Oh yeah.
there's a chance. But I mean, yeah, just in the situation the Lions are in right now. I think what was it, winning three straight games before that. The Lions beating the Packers, the Bears, and then the Giants. Three straight wins right there coming into Thanksgiving and losing to the Bills on a last second field goal. That has to be like a morale boost for, obviously you never want to fucking lose. And, I know that's how those professional athletes are wired, but like in a realistic aspect, it's like we just went fucking toe to toe with the best team in the world and lost by 3. Like there has to be some silver lining in that loss, and I think that's exactly what it was. And I mean, just looking at the Lions coming up, I think they get a big win over the Jaguars this weekend. They got the Vikings in there, but they got the Panthers, the Bears, the Packers, and the Jets in there to wrap up the season. I wouldn't be surprised if this team, they're 4-7 right now. I can see them get to 8 wins. I really can. Eight, maybe not nine. Definitely 8 wins. I feel like this team can wrap up with, and you're 8-9 after you got Hard Knocks, all this hype around the team. Dan Campbell, everybody loves them, and no one really expected you to do stuff this year. You come out and you scrap out fucking 8 wins. It's going to be a bright future next season for the Lions.
Yeah, it's something like that, or fuck, I don't know mathematically off the top of my head if they can get to 9, but if you're a 9-8 Lions team and you're having a wild card game, it's something like that. You're feeling pretty good, and I think
Yeah.
you're exactly right. This would be the definition of a good loss. Possibly a team that's going to be in the Super Bowl. You kept it close, almost won to overtime. You gave them just a little bit too much time, and they were able to sling that rock to Stephon Diggs. Thank you. Luckily, I had him in fantasy,
Yeah.
screaming and kicking at whatever 1 o'clock when he only had 4 points, but going into that fourth quarter, I think he scored like 20 extra points. So that was awesome and nice. Overall, yeah, phenomenal performance. Fun game to start off the rest of Thanksgiving schedule. That was a solid little get together for that. I mean, good on them. They can keep it competitive. They're basically the definition of like a not that bad team. I mean, that's just how it goes. They cover, they don't win, but they cover, and they're still
Yeah.
still in contention somewhat. Shooting over to the next one, if you were good
You know
on
how
that.
they
Yeah,
always
go ahead.
say, the terminology, good teams win, great teams cover. That's
Yep.
what everyone always says. I feel like there should be an opposite one where it's like terrible teams lose and okay teams cover,
Yeah.
like you're not terrible anymore. You're okay. You're in that good, maybe not good. You're in that improvement category. So terrible teams lose and average teams cover. I don't know, something like
There
that.
you go. You're getting
And
there.
that's
We'll figure it
exactly what
out.
they've been doing. That's exactly
Absolutely.
what they've been doing.
Yeah.
Same with them and the Falcons.
Yeah, them too. Them also in this game. The Giants are actually still covering as well on that last little second touchdown. Hopefully, no one got burned on that one. Yeah, Cowboys Giants, pretty little bit of a fun one. I stayed competitive. I think Dak Prescott threw 2 interceptions in the first half, but turned it around, able to find Dalton Schultz for 2. I think they've had their backup tight end as well getting involved. Just another one for, I guess, the Cowboys to get right, I suppose. I mean, they've had a couple injuries. Seems like he's back to being Zeke. Pollard took a little bit of a step back in this game. Uh, I guess just one of those things where they kind of had to put the Giants back in their place, look at the little brother and say, hey, this isn't your division just yet. They need some help. The Giants, they're not there just yet. I maybe they're poking some holes in there just in that team. Some injuries as well. But overall, okay game. I think in terms of like who you're seeing at the NFC or in the NFC, who's going to be chomping at the bit for the Eagles, probably the Cowboys, and people are going to still
Yeah.
argue the Vikings, but I would probably say it's them and San Fran and then the Eagles. So I think that's probably where you want to get started. Any thoughts on this Cowboys Giants game?
Yeah, this was the battle for OBJ. A lot of people were saying, the
And now I don't
winner
think anyone
winner
is going to
gets
want OBJ.
exactly after all this stuff going on the plane, trains, automobiles. It's a holiday season. Where's John Candy when you need him? But yeah,
Ted.
this was the OBJ fucking game. Cowboys get the win 28-20. It looked closer than it was. Like you said, the Giants scored late there to sort of make it a little closer. But man, that rushing attack of the Cowboys, man, is excuse me, is looking really good right now. 34 rush attempts between Zeke and Tony Pollard. Zeke with 92 yards, Pollard with 60, Zeke with the touchdown. You mix that up, you mix that rushing attack with CeeDee Lamb, and looks like he's slowly getting back to 100% with Michael Gallup. They might not need OBJ on that
Yeah.
offense. That offense might be clicking. I know he's coming off
Dalton
Gallup.
Schultz
That
looking
is
healthy too. He was, yeah.
exactly. Gallup coming off that ACL injury last season. He made a couple big catches. I think he had 5 for 63 on 8 targets. So he's slowly getting his way back into this offense as their number 2. And that's just going to take a lot of pressure off of CeeDee Lamb as well. I know he's been sort of earlier in the season spotlighted by these teams just because they really had no one else to throw to on this offense. So that'll open him up a little bit too. So um, they're clicking on all cylinders. I forgot who was calling this game, but they sort of reassured me. I know last week we were talking about it. I sort of not a hot take, but I guess a spicy take. I had said Micah Parsons is the best defensive player in the world as of right now, and whoever was calling the game sort of who the fuck was it? I forgot who was calling that game, but they had said like yeah he might have just pass the torch Aaron Donald to fucking Micah Parsons after that game. So offense, defense, they're clicking. They still got Mike McCarthy as their head coach, so they're gonna fuck something up down the line to lose them a big game. But in terms of just on the field, yeah, I'd say Eagles number 1 in the NFC, and then Cowboys right behind them at number 2.
Yeah. Even though you put them over San Fran?
I would, yeah. I would
Okay.
right now. Just with the potential, Debo hamstring injury. I guess Christian
Okay.
McCaffrey's dealing with an injury right now.
Yeah, Eli
I
Mitchell
would
just
say,
went
yeah.
down, so yeah, they're
Yeah,
gonna
I
have
would say, yeah.
another wave of injuries coming San Fran's way. That's gonna be unfortunate. I
Yeah, I'd
did
say
did
Dallas 2.
Okay.
I'd put a healthy San Fran 3, and then the Vikings. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds
I'm
about
in the
right.
Bears.
That sounds about right. I would probably still argue San Fran, but that's it's a day for an argument for another day. Last one on Thanksgiving, we had Patriots Vikings. I read this game completely wrong. I went Patriots and I went under. That was apparent that it was not going to be that, and by probably the second quarter, third quarter, that thing was going to hit the over. A lot
I
of
think it was
people mad.
10-7 after the first quarter. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it was gonna probably hit the over by a lot, and I'm sure it did. I think it was like 45 and a half or whatever the fuck. Either way, pretty fun, exciting nightcap. The Patriots held Dalvin Cook down, but not Justin Jefferson or Adam Thielen, or even
Yeah.
or Hutchinson, or not, excuse me, Hawkinson. Uh, all the receivers looking pretty good on the Vikings side. Defense non-existent as the Patriots were able to get involved. Mac Jones looked like Tom Brady over there, just wasn't able to complete like the clutch factor, I suppose. But Ramondre Stevenson having a solid game. If you had him in PPR, Damian Harris getting a little bit involved. I think he may or may not have re-injured himself. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember. But stuff like that. That was a pretty solid game. Like I said, I don't know. This is the type of things when you watch a game like that and you want to still like, oh, the Vikings legit. I think now I'm back in the train of I don't think so because they kept it close with the Patriots who aren't that good. It should not have been a shootout. I think again, while the Vikings have a good offense, just something like that. I don't know. He's going up against I guess a real playoff quality team. Most likely not going to pass the QB test when it comes to that, and the defense might not be able to hold up. So, anything on that? Anything on the game
Yeah,
itself?
I
You can go
mean, you
for it.
hit it. You said it perfectly. They're 2 losses, both ass whoopings against the Cowboys and the Eagles, and then you face a decent team. Not no way world beater team with the Patriots, and you got a close game in there. And I feel like that Hunter Henry no call on the touchdown catch. If he catches that, I think the Patriots can even win that game. So I think I thought it was a touchdown. I thought those are wishy washy. You flip a coin when you see something like that. It's just whatever the call on the field is. That's probably what it's going to be called as. But um, he if he holds on to that ball, or they get the right call and they score that a touchdown, Vikings are losing this game. So, they've looked good, but I feel like the Vikings might be the Tennessee Titans of the NFC now.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
just
that's
the team. They play great. They look great when they're playing average teams, but when they come up against the big dogs, they sort of get I will say it shut down. I mean, 3 points against the Cowboys and 6 points against the Eagles earlier in the season. So, yeah, I'd feel confident putting the Vikings in that category too.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, they'll be there. They'll be at the top of this division. Someone has to win this division. I mean, it's just a matter of if they can stay that competitive or just keep up in
Yeah.
the playoffs when it comes
Yeah.
down to the nitty gritty of
And
it.
I
I'm
will
just
say one thing, we ate our dinner during like in between the second and the third game. So wrapped up dinner right as this game was starting. Missed like the first drive and it sucked because, yeah, I got fucking Jefferson also on my fantasy team along with Diggs. I still, we did our draft in the middle of the summer. I still can't believe you idiots let me take Jefferson and Diggs 10 and 11.
that's
You're all
crazy.
stupid. But anyway, it was awesome to just sit back and no gambling on this game. Only fantasy I had was Justin Jefferson playing for me. I had nobody going against me and just sitting there with a belly full of fucking turkey and mashed potatoes, sort of drifting in and out of fucking consciousness. It was just awesome to just sit back and watch Justin Jefferson fucking cook. I mean, 9 catches, 139 yards, and a tutty. I was on fucking cloud nine Thursday night. So, yeah, and this was a great game. Looking at, like you said, Mac Jones looking like Tom Brady, 380 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Nobody had more than 80 receiving yards, though. That's where it's sort of like it's a little weird because you see 380 receiving yards, you're expecting someone to have 100, 150 receiving yards. He did a pretty good job of spreading it out, throwing the ball. So,
Absolutely.
other than Ramondre with the 9 catches, everyone
Mhm.
else 3, 4, 5, 6 for 60, 70, 80. He
I
got
mean, they don't have
everybody
a
pretty
star
much
wideout. Their
involved.
top guy is Jacoby Myers. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it's
just how
yeah,
that's the star power they have over there. It makes a ton of sense that you're gonna spread out the ball and get a guy
yeah.
seven
Nelson
receptions for like
Aguilar.
80 yards or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Nelson Aguilar, the big guys that Bill Belichick believes in so much. I mean,
yeah. Former Bear great Kendrick Bourne. Uh-huh.
exactly.
Fucking
Just shit
bum.
like that. I mean, that's just again like that was a good game. While it was a good win for the Vikings. It's just that should be a little bit of an issue. I mean, if you're gonna be a contender, you would want to take care of a team like that. I know Bill Belichick is probably has probably primed his guys up. He had a very good game plan ready to go, and he knows how to deal with his talent on there and able to make some moves. But that shouldn't have been as close as it was. I mean, that's just how it's supposed to be. Uh, Flipping over the Sunday games, those were like I said, pretty solid 3 games. If you listen to our fantasy football thing, I know we don't really share it around all too much just because it's like our personal little fantasy football league that we keep up with. But we gave out our first. It only took 12 weeks. But we gave out our first parlay winner. We took all the favorites on Thursday on the Thanksgiving games, and they hit just the money line. So again, shout out to me and Mike on that. As far as the other parlay that hit or that didn't hit, we'll get back in the lab for week 4, week 13. Either way, it came down to it's gonna come down to this Monday night game, but the fucking I'll just go over right now. It was one of the exciting OT games, Raiders Seahawks. We had the Seahawks, but Josh Jacobs said, "I'm going to have 300
Yeah,
total yards,
Jesus.
and I'm going to go win this game." They actually didn't want him to come back after re-aggravating a calf injury, apparently, but again said, "Hold my beer.
Yeah, he
I'm going
said,
to go
"Fuck
run
that
86
calf."
yards and score a touchdown." So that was awesome. I loved it. He was on my fantasy teams for the
Yeah,
time for
what,
that.
53 points in
Oh yeah.
PPR? Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
51 in mine. I think the other one due to bonuses, he had like 56 for my brother and shit like that. So
God.
that was awesome. Fun to see that. I didn't believe it because when you're on the fantasy apps, it just shoots you like, oh, your guy scored a touchdown, and then the other one
And
shoot it.
sometimes it's like a little glitch or
Yeah,
something. You're like,
exactly. I didn't like, oh, I didn't believe it. And then the next one shot to me is like Josh Jacobs scores an 86-yard touchdown. I'm like, that no, you're being silly. And I checked my phone. No, it's real. It's real. I start dancing, jumping around, all the fun stuff. So yeah, that was a fun little game. Josh Jacobs had himself a day. I think he had like 30 something opportunities, 300 total yards on the ground and through the air. That was just all him. I know Devontae Adams also had a nice little game, so that was cool. Uh, I just off the get go, I don't know. I just sat down, I looked at the thing, and I'm like, this is going to be a fun little game. I mean, high scoring. Not really sure, not really going to care who wins necessarily, but this is going to be back and forth. And sure enough, it
yeah.
was. Any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I had this one on during the 3 o'clock slate, just really nothing else to watch. fantasy wise, I did have Jason Myers going, who put up 10 points for me. Thanks a lot, Jason. But yeah, this was definitely a game where it's like all offense, no defense. Geno Smith played great. I think he had over 300 yards
Yeah.
on the day.
Hopefully, had
DK
somebody
Metcalf
Lockett
also
had a
had a
nice game. Metcalf had a
yeah,
nice game. Hopefully, had some sort of fantasy guy in this game.
yeah,
This is a
oh
big
for
one.
sure. And I feel like the big one, and he didn't have the greatest day rushing, but Kenneth Walker, 14 carries, 26 yards. The longest run was a 14-yard touchdown run where he ran through damn near the entire Raiders defense to score that touchdown. And then from like the 5-yard line in, the offensive line just pushed the pile. I love when that happens.
Yeah, that's fun.
But he did have 2 touchdowns. So, I mean,
Saved his
uh,
fantasy day, of course. Yeah.
exactly. The 2 touchdowns there, 26 yards, not a whole lot to write home about, but we've been saying it for weeks. Kenneth Walker, I mean, he is just he's going to be a league winner for a lot of guys in fantasy this year.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was a nice game all around, fun one. Wrecked the parlay, but all again, start the just exciting, especially when those 3 o'clock games aren't always the most thrilling. So good, always nice to get that after a solid noon docket of games. Like you said, get it bounce back, get an OT thriller. I can shoot really quick to the other OT game. Bucks Browns again. Read this one wrong. I thought the Buccaneers were going to go as slow as they were tempo wise. Just didn't think that they weren't going to score as much. Mike Evans didn't have a great game. If you look at his targets and his receptions, I think he was targeted 11 times or 9 times. Only caught 2 passes. A lot of these were long targets, but nevertheless not having the best game. Chris Godwin, on the other hand, flips it, catches like 10 of his 11 passes, gets a touchdown on the other side. But all for naught as Nick Chubb is able to get in there. Jacoby Brissett, he's looking a little emotional. He probably knows that while that was a good win for them, huge upset win. But we're going to be shooting over to Deshaun Watson most likely the remainder of the season. It's got to be a kick in the nuts, absolutely. But they're paying this guy for a reason. Maybe you just got to know your role. I would maybe keep going Brissett, but I understand Watson is far and better the guy, I guess, in terms of just what it is. But that'll be something to report on to keep an eye on later. Anything on this game?
Yeah, Rashad White. I mean, this guy going forward, I think is going to be the real deal
Yep,
for
hope
the
so.
Buccaneers,
Definitely
whether it
so.
is in that starting role, whether it is splitting time with Leonard Fournette, 14 carries, 9 receptions, over 100 combined yards, or no, just under 100 combined, or no, over. What am I saying? Over 100 combined yards. Didn't find his way into an end zone, but had a great day. A lot of opportunities for this guy, so. Definitely a name to look forward to in the future. Maybe not this season, but going forward in fantasy, Rashad White looks like that go-to number one in that Bucks offense.
Yeah, I hope so. I got him in a couple fantasy leagues, so that's gonna
Yeah, I
be
stashed him
fun.
away too.
Yeah. Uh yeah, I just want to maybe blow through these really quick so we can get to this Sean Taylor little rant that you got here. So Jags Ravens and the Chargers Cardinals came down to 2 2-point conversions, and honestly, both of them could fuck up one of these team seasons. The Ravens, that was a must win. The Jags should not have won this game, shouldn't have been in any sort of contention. Uh, but definitely, yeah, getting the late touchdown, getting the 2 point conversion, they get the win. Definitely hurts them as the Bengals were able to get a win. Will be pending a Monday night game with the Steelers. I don't know if that's gonna do anything, but yeah, Browns Bengals both get a win. Get a big loss by the Ravens. It will, yeah, that's gonna come down to the wire. And the Chargers getting an absolute must win. They're again, most likely the Chiefs aren't going to lose anything anytime soon, so the Chargers need to get every single win that they can. Big one over this Cardinals team that's struggling. I mean, that's the only word that you can say about this team. It's struggling. They're injured on a lot of aspects and everything. Finally getting Kyler Murray. He had one of his better games throughout the entire season. Just all for naught as it comes down to a 2 point conversion. Chargers just I don't know, guess wanted it more. And again, huge on them, huge for their season. The Cardinals, probably wrap it up after this one. It's going to be some sad Hard Knocks episodes from here on out. Anything
Oh,
on
it's
those two
gonna make
games?
for great TV. Kyle
Absolutely.
Shanahan just told reporters Elijah Mitchell will miss another 6 to 8 weeks with a knee injury. So,
Alrighty, I can drop them off
yeah,
my fucking squads
drop
then.
him. He gone. Yeah, this I went and tweeted it out. This loss for the Cardinals is going to make for one hell of an episode of Hard Knocks on Wednesday. I live to watch them lose. I fucking hate Cliff Kingsbury ever since we saw that the painting of the tiger. He's a fucking toolbox. Love James Conner though.
Yeah, he's a dog.
He's been having a great last month. You know, just getting those 20 plus carries falling into the end zone. I think he had a receiving touchdown this week. Yeah, he did have a
Yes, he did.
receiving touchdown, but last month or so he's been playing great
And it looked
football.
like it was completely designed for him. Like Kyler got the
Yeah,
snap, only looked at him until he was open and slung it right to him. So it was
yeah,
looked like that was like just for James Conner. So I was just
yeah. And then
yeah.
D Hop, not the biggest day. 4 catches, 87 yards, and a touchdown. I guess that is a
I
good
mean
day.
it was a long
Uh,
touchdown. It was a good one, yeah.
exactly, yeah. But the one-handed catch that he made, holy shit! It just shows he is. It doesn't matter PED, suspension, whatever. This dude is still a fucking animal, even at 30 years old. There's not many people walking this earth right now that are making that catch.
Nope.
Bad throw behind him to shift his body the way he did and just bring that thing in one-handed. It just shows. Don't forget about D Hop. I mean, he's still one of the elite in the game. So,
Absolutely.
but anyway, yeah, looking forward to Hard Knocks on Wednesday. And the last 10, 15 minutes of the episode are always of that week's game. And the Cardinals were winning this one for a while, and Justin Herbert and the Chargers found a way to win it late. It's gonna make for a great fucking episode to watch the heartbreak.
Very yeah, yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Yeah, just for further comment on James Conner. Yeah, he seems to be the guy. It very much apparent cutting, Benjamin. He's just gonna be all the volume's just gonna go to him.
Yeah.
Last one I had just in terms of exciting, what I kept my eye on, just the Eagles Packers kind of previewed a little bit beforehand. Very high scoring. Came down to a lot of wincing from Aaron Rodgers.
Oh,
And
love to see it.
went out around the third quarter. They believed again. I don't even. Maybe it was during or after the game. Whatever they believed, it's a punctured lung. He was just grimacing, handing the ball off, turning his body. It was a sight to see. Just not good for Packers Nation, I suppose. That they turned to Jordan Love, kept it in there for a little bit, but the Eagles uh, just ran the ball all over them. I believe, or not. I believe I know for sure. Jalen Hurts had 100 yards in the first quarter, finished with like 150 on the ground. He had a big game. I mean, some people, I guess, they can bitch and moan. They can't just accept the win for what it is. He had a big game on the ground, did not so much through the air, so everyone's harping on that. It is what it is. He just had to he had to defeat an opponent, maybe take him out of contention like that. Packers fall to 4-8 on the season. Aaron Rodgers afterwards was like, "I want to still play if we're mathematically in it," but I don't know, dude. It's almost on the verge of like you're possibly a detriment if you come in and play hurt, and maybe the franchise wants to know what they have in Jordan Love. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's probably the time to get him some reps. He only gets first what would it be, first team reps on Wednesdays when Aaron Rodgers doesn't practice. That was the report during the game. So that's why like Jordan Love didn't look completely out of whack playing in that game. He's had some time with these guys, but yeah, just not going to be good looking forward if Love is the number one guy. I'm sure he'll do something good against the Bears if he ends up playing, but future not so bright on the Packers side. Anything on this game? Anything on in the
I
commentary?
hope Rogers plays this week.
Yeah,
I really hope, just so we are the ones, not the fucking Eagles. What have the Eagles ever done to deserve the right to fucking dethrone the king? I want to put Rogers down for good.
yeah. There
So
you
I
go.
hope he fucking sucks it up, takes a handful of those fucking pills, him and Darren Waller, take that fucking cortisone or whatever injection you fucking need. Get your ass onto, I own the Bears, but I'm gonna sit out with a no fucking play. Be a fucking man, because I want Jack Sanborn to be the fucking one to end Aaron Rodgers for good. Because you know what? He could sit out next week against the Bears. He could sit out the rest of the season. He won't be fucking done. He'll be back next year, healthy, maybe with a wide receiver, and he's gonna fucking put it to us like he has the last fucking decade. I want him to fucking come out on Sunday and, I want to be the ones to fucking end this dude. So, yeah, I hope he does fucking play.
That's a good way to put it. Absolutely. Fucking get him off the field like that. Yeah, I mean that was pretty solid week of games. We got the Monday night one. Just gonna have to grit your teeth if you're gonna watch that one at all. Uh, the only thing I took a Paris Campbell anytime touchdown at plus 330. So go do that if you got points bet code SYS9. Go ahead and do that. Make yourself a little bit of money with the little free bets here and there. Uh, I don't know. We went over this OBJ thing a little bit. I don't know. I don't have the details on it, but I wouldn't want to take him now if he with a 10-foot pole or whatever, touch him with a 10-foot pole, whatever the fuck. I don't know what the whole report was. Being belligerent, yada yada, just not looking good. You had any comment on that? But I know you can go
Yeah,
ahead
I
and
don't
talk
know.
about that. But I know you had this Sean Taylor thing you wanted to get to.
Yeah, I just heard he was drifting in and out of consciousness on a plane. I'm not sure what that means, whether he
Oh
was
well.
fucked up, whether he was sick. I don't know what the fuck was going on. They didn't really get into too many details, but if it does come out that this dude was just fucked up and acting like a jag off on a plane, I'm agreeing with you. I wouldn't want to touch him, with that, the fucking knee injury, him letting girls shit on him.
I
I'm
mean,
good.
I think he's letting on that I don't even know. I mean, Jerry Jones even talked to him in person or whatever. He himself wasn't convinced that like OBJ is 100% healthy just yet. So I think OBJ isn't letting on that his health just yet. I don't think he's fully healthy in any sort of capacity just yet. I
Yeah, that
mean,
could be a
you can jump around, you could be on that, and the other. You can say, "Oh, I'll make my decision this when I'll be, I all eyes on me." Everyone, I hate this now. It's definitely the LeBron thing that made this make sure you pay attention to me. Like, oh, where am I gonna go? I don't even know where I'm gonna go. I don't know. Where am I gonna land?
yeah.
Now it's just like you're not gonna land anywhere. You're not gonna get on a plane because you're just an asswipe. So welcome. He doesn't need to be anywhere. Even if he goes on to another team that's in the playoff hunt, if he gets involved, maybe that's a detriment to other players on there that have been there all year and that have actually been productive. So I don't know. I can't sit here and say that. I'm on the train. I'm on the verge of whatever. I don't think he's fully healthy. I don't think he should be on a team. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I'm a little strapped for time. Like I said, I know you wanted to get to the Sean Taylor thing. This was all over the place. Everyone had their opinion on it. I was somewhat like, why is everyone so mad? And it's just like, okay, I guess with to my understanding, they set up the statue, gave him all his gear that they set up this like he's never had this gear set up before. He's never had
Yeah.
the gloves and shit like that. So I mean, the Commanders can never get out of their own way in terms of stories off the field. As of now, they've put their helmet on and decided to play just the players themselves. So good on them for Taylor Heineke getting behind the guys and just focusing on that. But yeah, just
Yeah, and another
another
fucking
debate, another
scrappy
shit.
win against the Falcons too.
Absolutely,
Way to fucking edge
absolutely.
one out. But
Yeah.
yeah, in terms of this fucking statue, I think it's absolutely embarrassing because this is not the first time that the Washington football team Redskin organization has dropped the ball when it comes to doing something in honor or in remembrance of Sean Taylor. If you remember a couple years back, they had Sean Taylor night against the Chiefs in Washington, and you had Jackson Mahomes doing a fucking TikTok dance on the number that they spray painted on the field. So that's pretty fucking embarrassing.
Mhm.
A couple years before that, they had like a photo op where they had I think it was something outside of the stadium where it was like a plaque or I forgot what it was. But they were taking pictures and taking videos and everything. And in the background, they had fucking porta potties, like just people going in and out of fucking porta potties taking shits. Like, how disrespectful is that? And now you come to this, and I don't know if it's a marketing thing. I think it's just Dan Schneider being a fucking jagoff and being a troll because everybody wants him out of that position now, and he's just gonna probably do everything in his power to make this team and this organization look like a bunch of fucking idiots. But to come out like you said, to have him in a Nike jersey, which Sean Taylor never wore a fucking Nike jersey in his career because the Nike wasn't a partner with the NFL. He has Reebok pants on, which I'll give him credit. He did wear Reebok pants, but he had Adidas shoes. He had these fucking blacked out gloves. They had like Hanes fucking
It didn't have
socks on
anything
him.
for like his face paint or nothing like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just it was a wire mannequin that you would grab at fucking Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah.
And you know what? I guess good on them. It's not like the all white out full body mannequin that Jeffrey Dahmer was licking the nipples of, I guess at least they got the cool up to date all black wire one, which is a little more hip and trendy, I guess. But it's still such a fucking embarrassment because this isn't the first time they've dropped the ball when it comes to honoring Sean Taylor in his life. Because I mean, this was a man who was drafted by this team, played his heart out for this team, and was murdered defending his fucking home and trying to protect his family in a home invasion. And you want to fucking honor this guy and all, the different throughout the years, every single time they try and do something for Sean Taylor, it goes wrong in some way, shape, or form. From the Mahomes to the porta potties, and now you promise a statue. This is something that I would expect out of a second grader. Like if you were to say, okay, I don't know, go to a fucking my girlfriend, she's a teacher, right? You go to her fucking classroom and you say, okay, good kids, I want you to build a statue of your favorite football player. This is what they would put together, with sticks and popsicle sticks and straws, and that's exactly what this is. And it's just embarrassing. So it just full on proves that what they're doing on the field and what they're doing with Ron Rivera and the coach staff in that locker room is fucking amazing. But
Two different
outside of
worlds.
that, outside of that, this team and this organization, I don't even want to say the team, this organization and the front office is an absolute fucking joke. And Dan Schneider needs to be taken out of his position as, general manager, whatever the fuck he is.
Yeah.
I honestly believe he did this as
Was
like
the
a
owner,
troll.
isn't he? Isn't he
The owner, yeah, that's what he is. Yeah, he's a fucking jagoff. So, this was absolutely disrespectful to one of the greatest Redskins of all time, Sean Taylor.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
this was embarrassing.
Yeah, funny that you say that about the picture, the whatever, the photo op, and having the background be the porta potties. Even in
Yeah.
this picture, you see them just I believe from what I saw, this probably should be from the Commander's official page. They took a picture of the front end, and then they have like a side view where all the fans are looking upon it. But then in the background, you just see all the horrible, shitty piping that
Oh
covers and
yeah,
takes
I do
care of the
see that.
field. And I'm
Yeah.
like, is there just no one on the visual team to like, hey guys, maybe let's edit it. Let's take a better shot. Let's post a better angle than not like I don't know the rats and the skunks that are hanging out uh in our piping and stuff like that. Let's not get that visual. So it's that, and I mean, just on top of it, to make comparison, the Eagles, the Eagles gave a statue to the coach at the time and Nick Foles. I can't remember. He's the current head coach of the Jags right
Uh,
now.
Peterson.
Yeah, yeah. So the head
What's
coach
his
at the
name?
time,
Dan, Jeff.
yeah, not important, but they
What's his
gave us
name? Yeah.
not important.
Doug.
Yeah, Doug. Yeah, there you go. He gives them a statue for one play that they ran in a Super Bowl, for Christ's sake, and they immortalized that forever in solid bronze outside the stadium. But let's give him a wired mannequin for this guy, like you said, who died defending his family. It's all just terrible. Everything that the Commanders organization touches just seems to turn to shit. But hopefully, like I said, the team, everyone on the field, it's clearly two different worlds. Just shout out to Ron Rivera for turning that around, uh, taking care of all their talent on that side, and just getting wins, putting wins together against some pretty solid teams, getting these road wins and whatever, being in playoff contention, just getting away from all the distractions that clearly keep piling up with this Commanders front office and all that terrible stuff. So that was good. Like I said, I at first I was very like, oh, what's the problem? But I'm sure enough along the way, just gathering more and more information, seeing other comparisons. Yeah, just another big screw up by this Washington franchise. Just terrible, disrespectful at the very least. Yeah, if you were good on that, that kind of wraps up NFL. Almost like I said, I'm on a little bit of a time crunch, so I can shoot through a couple other things. But yeah, were you good on NFL? Like I said, we'll be previewing everything we like in episode 142.
Yeah. I think that pretty much wraps up this week. Thanksgiving, fucking Turkey Bowl. Allen didn't
Yeah.
do shit. Redskins are fucked up. Yeah, I think we pretty much hit everything.
Yeah, for sure. All right, yeah, I'll shoot over really quick to some MLB news, mostly just White Sox related. I'll shoot my thoughts on it, and then shoot over to you like we usually do. But even though like, no Cubs stuff, but of course, you got some opinions on the White Sox, so we're nice and even on this little thing. I guess I'll stay positive first. I'll go saying hello with the acquisition of Mike Clevenger. I'm okay with it. I'm not jumping for joy over here. He's 31 years old, had a very bad ERA coming in. Everyone crying and moaning. They're like, "Oh, we couldn't take the extra money and spend it on Rodon, who had a better season. Couldn't extend him, but no, we went ahead and signed Clevenger the next year. What are we doing?" Yeah, this front office is just really bad. I don't know. This is it's disappointing for stuff like that, but I'll be optimistic. I'll say he's better than others. We could have had way worse. So hopefully he does. Hopefully he gets it right. Figures himself out over here. Didn't look, like I said, didn't look too great on the Padres. Got more towards the lower end of the rotation. Maybe he'll probably be midway towards our rotation. In terms of departures, not a good one. Not a good day. Not feeling too good on this. Jose Abreu couldn't reach anything with the White Sox, so he'll be going to the Houston Astros for 3 years. And you know what? I'll say this. Hopefully I'm not the first one to say it. I don't think so. The White Sox, the fans, you can't be mad at him. You can't be upset about anything that this guy did. He made unwatchable seasons, unwatchable games, watchable. He made it worth going to it. You were like, hey, at the very least, maybe Abreu will hit a home run. Maybe Abreu can finally get 30. Maybe he'll get another 30 and 100 on the year. Just he was the only thing that White Sox fans look forward to in any sort of capacity. And if you're gonna get mad at him for leaving, piss off. You're not a real fan. You definitely aren't a fan of Jose Abreu. He deserves everything. So I'm okay with him going to a franchise that's gonna be in contention, and most likely, as of right now, you put a gun to my head, I'm gonna say the Astros are gonna repeat. They didn't get
Yeah,
worse. They
no,
just
not at
got
all.
way better adding Jose Abreu. So this is fine with me. Thank you, Abreu. If somehow you come across as Jose Abreu, thank you for everything. Thank you for again making unwatchable games, unwatchable seasons bearable, making somewhat some sparks of joy. His grand slam against the Twins or something like that to win the game. Uh, Home runs against the Yankees. Again, these games don't matter because they were in the regular season when they were only winning 78 games and shit like that. But I'll remember them. Shit like that. Him winning Rookie of the Year, him getting his MVP happened here in Chicago. So I love that. He was the guy. He was our dog. again, you can't be mad at him. He gave everything to this franchise and more. He did. I don't know, just all the world to him, all the accomplishments. Again, I can't be upset. I'm disappointed that we couldn't get him signed up over here again. But as far as what we want from Jose, what I want to see, I just want to see him be successful. If he can't be here in Chicago, I wish him the best. Anything on that? Anything I missed?
Yeah, there should be, from Sox fans or any baseball fan, any Chicago baseball fan, even as a Cubs fan over here, I always loved watching Jose Abreu play. One of the best pure hitters, both contact and power wise in the league, as shown, leading the American League in hits last year. He's always been the leader of that team. And you said it perfectly. It sucks to see him go, but it's going to be good to see him, play. He's not going to be wasting his time away on Oakland or something
Yeah,
like that. You're actually going to
yeah.
see him play some meaningful baseball. You're going to continue to see him, play meaningful baseball. So, Sox fans, they should have, it sucks that he's not there. And I draw the comparisons to like a Rizzo, like they're like in the same boat. They're the leaders.
A
They were
hundred
there
percent. Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
were the leaders. They were there when times were terrible, and they were there when times were fucking good. And now obviously no one wants to root for the Yankees. I mean, or the fucking
He was the
Astros.
heart
But
and soul of that team. He was the
exactly,
hustle. He was everything. He was everything for that
exactly.
squad.
So you
He was a
got the best
leader.
out of him. 3 years, $60 million. That's a lot of money for what, 35, 36 years
Yeah.
old.
And that's the
Who
only
knows with the
drawback.
Cubans? He
He was
could be
only
fucking 40.
yeah. That was the only drawback. Getting up there in age, but still producing the same as he got like as he came in here. So it's again, anyone that's I can see I can see the positives and negatives. I'm gonna miss him as with a bat. It's gonna be rough on the offensive end if we don't find someone to replace him,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be beneficial to get Gavin more looks, get Vaughn not just in the outfield, but maybe some time at first base as
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
switching Sheets and Vaughn here and there. Again, possibly bringing in some sort of DH bat, another guy that could play first or something like that. Maybe even integrating Yaz at first. I mean, you
Yeah.
don't want him, too much pressure on the knees. Switch it up. I know it's not everything that you want to hear, but I mean, it's what Joe Mauer did towards the end of his career. So fuck it, why not? It could still be a beneficial bat, decent defense, maybe play a little bit of first. It opens up a lot of opportunities, but again, like you said, big disappointment to see that we couldn't get it done. But I'm not going to be clamoring at the bit. I'm not going to be getting a Jose Abreu Astros jersey anytime soon. But I'm going to be watching Jose getting some the Astros at bats. I'm going to be rooting for him every time he's up there. So can't be mad at him ever. I'm never going to turn my back on this guy. He's been nothing but a class act his entire career here. No, you're not hearing the like, oh, Jose Abreu left his dinner at the fucking restaurant unpaid for, or he was mean to an elevator worker or something like that. He was nothing but classy. He was just the guy again. No negativity towards this guy. I guess the only thing you could say is a big dipper. It's too much tobacco, but either way, everyone's got their setbacks, but it's okay. We love them here. Again, that's my final thing. Thank you, Abreu. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, for sure.
That was basically it
And you
on
hit it
that.
perfectly. It's more opportunities for these young guys. I think you found something with uh at least Andrew Vaughn in one of the corner outfield spots when it comes to guys like Gavin Sheets or even Jake Berger. They're maybe not the guys you want playing left and right field or third base in Jake Berger's at least for him. So you open up first base, you stick one of those young guys there. You've seen it with Jake Berger and Gavin Sheets when they're hot offensively. I mean, there's nothing better than a big, tall lefty with that swing like Gavin Sheets has, just hitting moonshots in the right field. He's got him and Jake Berger offensively got it. Defensively, there's some work to be done there, but
Yeah,
you can stick anyone at fucking first base and just catch the ball. That's
yeah.
it opens up room for these young guys to get some more playing time.
Absolutely. That's just like I said, if we're gonna be sticking on positives, that's something I'll lean towards. But yeah, that basically wraps up that. I'm sure there was a
I think
little bit of
one more baseball thing. It
oh
looks
sure
like
shoot.
this will be the last season for Miguel Cabrera. He
Oh
said one more season. This is going to be it. 2023 is going to be his last year. So we're going to get, we got the final run with Pujols and Molina this year. We're going to get it with Miggy. So two of the greats, two of the great. We say it all the time when we talk baseball. Two of the great right-handed hitters of all time, Pujols and Miggy, and it looks like it's going to be an end of an era for both of them coming up after this season.
yeah, I think that's cool. That Miggy didn't say anything all year, and maybe he was just like planning. He's like, all right, they get their little hoorah tour.
Exactly, that's what
I'll
I
wait.
was thinking
I'll
too.
wait next year, and all eyes will be on me. So that's okay. I don't think anybody else is probably in that realm of big guys on the lower end, probably gonna be on a retirement tour. So yeah, all the focus will be on him. I'm sure it'll be in the
Yeah, and
same
let's be
same
honest.
realm.
Like Miguel Cabrera, he's not a world beater, but I mean, at 30, oh, how old is he? Upper 30s, he's still playing
He
120
was
games a year
he was
and
still
batting
one of the
250.
better Tigers
Yeah,
hitters all season this year, and
exactly.
that it's not saying much considering they suck, but I mean that they're really looking at that Tyler Schoolball guy or whatever. I don't know, they had a young rookie prospect that they were
Yeah,
all after.
39 years
Yeah,
old, played in 112 games last year. Had 101
I mean
hits, five home runs,
he
but
could bat seventh on a
exactly,
lot of other rosters and still do
exactly,
very well. I mean
he
he could,
could.
yeah. I mean it's just right now. I mean yeah, it's nothing to take away from what he's already done. So yeah,
Yeah.
good on him. That'll be fun, and I mean it'll. I don't know. I'll probably end up going to a Tigers game next season just because it'll be on the cheaper side. But yeah, I guess it'll make it a little bit more worthwhile to see one of Miguel Cabrera's last games throughout the season. So that'll make it a little bit more fun, I suppose, out of those Tiger games. Yeah, if you're good on that, yeah, I'm basically strapped for time. I was gonna get to some AEW, some wrestling, but we can do that all on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's good to
Nothing
me.
too crazy. Yeah, nothing too crazy to get into. Just some opinions. No news coming up. So hopefully, yeah, I enjoyed my time at AEW, at Dynamite, at Rampage. So that was a good recording, good live Dynamite, good taping of Rampage all around. The dark matches were fun too. Good energy, always in Chicago, and of course, like you tweeted out, we have the best fans, best with arena, not arena, but like
Amenities, I guess
yeah,
you'd say. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
just our enthusiasm is second to none. So good on the Chicago crowds, always bringing the enthusiasm, always bringing the chants and fun stuff. I mean, we're almost trendsetters. Obviously, the Chicago crowd started the Scissor Me Daddy chant that's been popular in AEW.
Yeah, that's been going around ever since All Out.
Yeah, exactly. So shit like that, that's always fun. But yeah, of course, we'll get into the wrestling, all that fun stuff. Packers, Bears preview, all of Week 13 that we be looking forward to. I mean, any other MLB, NHL, basketball news that falls in our hands, all that probably going to be recapped on Wednesday's episode 142. But without further ado, we can go ahead and sign on out of here. I gotta go handle some fun stuff after this. Yeah, the usual. Thank you for listening in. Thank you for sharing, liking, subscribing. If you're new to that, go ahead and do that. That's always fun to see those little numbers pop up and those little thumbs up. That's always cool. To nice to see that there as well. Fumbling through my words. Alan, take your notes. Troy, good good job on locking Alan down during
Yeah,
the turkey
locking that
bowl.
fucker down.
Good. Thanks for listening as always, Troy. You're the top guy as always. So, everybody else, thank you. Always enjoy the interaction, the listening, the numbers, and all that fun stuff. Bill, any final words? Any final thoughts?
No, I think that's it. 141 in the books. We got Bears Packers next week.
Sounds
Throw the
good.
record books out the fucking door. It's going to be a street fight.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a fucking bloodbath.
Jordan Love and Trevor Simeon.
Can't
Oh,
wait.
Jesus.
Till then, we'll see ya. Take care. Wow.